So today we are talking about cultivating a spirit of leadership, okay? We're talking about leadership. So if you have your surveys, we can wait and we'll come back to those later. But right now, we're talking about cultivating a spirit of leadership. So guys, when you think of the animal kingdom, which animal would you say is the king of the jungle? Daniel. Tarzan. Claire. The lion. Does anyone else have a different answer? Tim. God. Ethan. Tiger. Okay. Anyone else? Journey. A cheetah. What about you, Paul?
Jaguar.
A jaguar. Wow. Okay. So far, most people agree that the lion is the king of the jungle. So what Claire said, the lion is the king of the jungle, is what most people believe. Does anyone know why the lion is considered the king of the jungle? Valerie. He's the strongest. Journey. Joy. He's powerful. Journey. He's protective. Yes, Claire. He's strong. Anyone else? Yes, Paul.
He can be scary.
He can be scary. Yes, Stacy. He's a leader. I love that. So think about it. God created a ton of animals, but he identifies himself with the lion. He says, he calls Jesus the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Like he doesn't say, I'm the monkey of the tribe of Judah, I'm the lizard of the tribe of Judah, I'm the cheetah. He chooses the lion to identify himself, okay? So, we're about to talk about something really, really, really important. I'm going to go to the next slide. And you guys are going to tell me what you see on this slide as it relates to leadership. What do you see on that slide that communicates leadership, Donovan? Someone helping the other guy to reach the top. So do we agree that this kind of shows what leadership might look like? Okay. Can you think of any Bible examples of people who may have done exactly this to help others out in the Bible? Jaden. Jesus, I love that. He came down, he saw us in our sin, and he continues to help us, right? He continues to pull us up. He continues to pull us up. Yes, Paul. King Solomon. And you know how he did that? How did he do that, Paul?
He asked for wisdom and knowledge.
I love that.
Gold, richness, all that.
Nice. And that is true. He did. And he passed that wisdom on to us, did he not? Yes, he did. Stacy. Two people. King Josiah. King David, a good one. So let me ask you something. If you, Journey, were standing next to a lion and you get into a fight with the lion, who's going to win? The lion? Justin? The lion's going to win. Paul?
You, the person who's fighting the lion.
I like that. Why do you think that?
Because if you have courage in God, you can beat a lion.
Say that again really loud.
If you have courage in God, you can beat a lion.
Who do we know who beat a lion? Ethan. David. Why did David beat that lion? He believed in God. Good one. I love that. Exactly. So, here's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I want to talk to you about how a leader thinks and how this makes the difference, okay? From the movie Lion King, we see two types of lions in that movie. If you've ever watched the movie, you know that there are two kinds of lions there. I want you to just pretend for a second that Simba is Mufasa right now, okay? And that's Scar. Are they both lions?
Yes.
Do they both have a roar? Yes. Do they both have a pause?
Yes.
What's the difference between these two? Javon, yes. Sorry. One is evil, one is good. So let me ask you guys something. Did God create all of us in this room? Did God create all of these animals? Okay, so how does one animal turn out to be good and the other one not so good? What makes the difference? How does someone turn out to be good and another one not so good? Jaden. Sorry.
The person that turned out bad, they made some bad choices.
They made bad choices. Journey.
Because of the devil.
Because of the devil.
Because in Eden, in the Garden of Eden, with Adam and Eve, Satan said that Eve could eat the fruit. So Eve ate the fruit, and he deceived her.
He deceived her. That's how sin got in the world, because Satan deceives and he lies. And when you buy the lie, you start to live it out. Yes? Oh. Turned against God. And that would make the difference, wouldn't it? If you start believing that God doesn't like you, you probably will start acting it out. Claire?
He was jealous.
He was jealous. Wow. Do you guys understand what that word means?
Yes.
What does jealous mean? Josiah.
It means that one is, it means that in the movie that one is king and Scar is jealous because he's not king, and other people, and he's jealous because other people say that Simba is the rightful king.
Nice. I love that. Donovan.
Jealousy is when you're not content or grateful for what you have and you
You want
want what other people want.
what other people have, and you're not content with what you have. I love that. Yes, Paul.
I was just gonna say difference. Simba's a normal lion, Scar's a black maned lion.
Nice. Stacy.
One of Simba has a heart and the other one doesn't.
Oh, I love that. That's good because it's going to help me teach what I'm about to teach you guys now. Okay, perfect. She said Simba or Mufasa, they have a heart, but Scar doesn't really have a heart. So let's go to the next slide, please. So this is what happens, you guys. We're all created in the image and likeness of God, okay? God has created each one of us in his image and likeness, and we come to the world with a purpose, with value, with direction. We know that we are made for more than just to exist or to wake up every day, eat something, die. We just know we're made for more, okay? Because we're made in the image and likeness of God. Now, here's what makes the difference. How you think will make all the difference in what type of leader you will become, okay? Your thinking will make you the type of leader that you will become, whether you will become a good leader or a bad leader. So, the belief system that you're carrying, what you believe, will make you become exactly the type of leader you're going to grow up into. And I'll come back to questions, okay, guys? I'm going to just explain what I want to teach today. So here's what I want to say to you. Paul said it so well. If you come against a lion, you really should win because you know who you are, right? If you know God well, you know that God can give you a strategy. He can give you the strength. In fact, David killed a lion, but we also know a character that God protected from a bunch of lions. Does anyone know who that character is? Isaiah. Daniel. So Daniel was only 14, like about your age. He was only about 14 years old when him and his friends, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, they got pulled out of their country and thrown into another country. And they became like slaves in the other country. So they were told what to wear, what to drink, what to eat. And the king said, you know what? I like these boys because they look smart. They think really well. It looks like someone had invested something in them. They probably woke up every morning and went to JosiahKids. So the king took Daniel and said, I want you to come in here. We're going to teach you some stuff. We're even going to change your name. And we're going to develop you into a leader. So in Babylon, Daniel becomes what? A leader, okay? And the Bible actually says, Daniel began to distinguish himself with the spirit of excellence. So when you looked at Daniel, he was acting more like Mufasa, not so much like Scar, right? And the Bible tells us that his friends got jealous of him. Jealous, the way Donovan defined it, is when people look at you and say, you think you're so good, you know? I mean, I can be a leader too. You're not the only one who can do that so well, right? So his friends got really jealous. And what did they do? They plotted against him and lied to the king and set him up so that the king threw Daniel into a den of lions. But what happened, Kaylin? What happened after they threw him into a den of lions? Did they open their mouths? Did they attack him? Because why? Because Josiah? Because the angels protected him, right? So the lion might be the king of the jungle, but guess who's the king of that king? God, exactly. So God, he tells you, I'm like a lion, but I'm even stronger than the lions because I made them. I can tell the lion to shut its mouth and it will shut its mouth. I can tell a lion to halt and it will halt, okay? So when you know your God well, you can literally ask him to keep you from anything that is, is coming up against you, right? So here's what God wants us to know. Unless our thinking changes, we will end up becoming just like this. Scar did not take the time to develop his mindset. Scar did not take the time to develop his heart. Scar did not take the time to develop his doing good, his what I call handset. Scar never took the time to become a good leader, but he still wanted to be a leader. When we don't take the time to develop our belief system, when we don't take the time to develop how we think, this is what happens. You are not going to become a good leader because you haven't taken the time to develop that. Now, this leader is hanging out with hyenas. When you find yourself hanging out with people that are not right for you, then you need to ask yourself, why am I hanging out with hyenas when I should be over here with lions, right? So if you are a Christian, you live in a Christian home, and you are finding yourself, always in the bad company, what should you be asking yourself? What am I doing with the hyenas, right? If someone's inviting you to do something that isn't right, do you remember the kind of advice that Scar kept giving Simba? Was it good advice? No, it was not good advice because he was not doing the right thing. So here's what I wanted to say. The generation that's coming up ahead of you, that's my generation, we have an obligation to help you guys to develop the right mindset, to think properly, and to believe the right things in order to make you good leaders. The world is waiting for a good leader. When Mufasa dies, the world around him, does it get better or worse? Worse. It gets worse. Does it get worse because there's not another good leader? Why does it get worse? Because who takes over Josiah? Scar takes over. So when bad leaders take over, we all suffer for it. Do you guys agree with that? When bad leaders take over, we all suffer for it. So we're here Josiah Kids to make sure that we help you guys to awaken the spirit of leadership within you, so that when you leave this place, you're going out with a different mindset. You're thinking differently. Leaders set goals. Leaders think differently. Leaders come to class prepared. Leaders go to sleep saying, this is what I'm going to wear tomorrow. Leaders are not, think about it. What happens if you see a big lion that's trying to chase a gazelle for lunch and it decides, it's too hard. Mommy, that gazelle won't let me catch it. What would you say to that lion? Justin.
I would say I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you. You have to keep trying. Ethan. Get a hold of yourself. Now that's the kind of spirit. I love that. Because you want to say to that lion, do you know who you are? Get out there and grab that gazelle. Like, take care of that, right? So here's what I'm saying. We are here because we want to make sure we are awakening the right spirit within you guys. Now, when I say awakening the spirit of leadership, this is what I mean by that. The first thing is mindset. The mindset is how you think. So the ideas that are going into your mind all the time, whatever you're reading, whatever you're listening to, whatever you're playing, the music you're playing, is going to put you in a completely different mindset. Leaders are readers, but they don't just read anything. They're very wise and selective in what they choose to read, okay? So you got to be careful what you're reading. You got to read good books like the one Joy's holding up, John Maxwell's leadership book, 101. And I love John Maxwell. I've read a lot of his books. You got to read good material so that you have the right mindset, okay? Your mindset has to be right. Now, your heart set has to also be right. When I'm talking about the heart set, here's what I'm talking about. A leader has to be kind, okay? A leader has to be kind. Just because you're powerful does not mean that you get to use your strength or your power to, if you misuse your strength and your power to attack other people, is that good leadership? No. You use your strength and your power to do good, okay? Not to do evil. As long as you're helping someone else climb that ladder, you are being a good leader. But every time you're using your strength and your wisdom, your thoughts to create bad things, then you're not doing the right thing and you're not going to turn out to be a good leader. So your heart has to be in the right place. And I think it was Johnny or Valerie who said it so well. The Scar had a bad heart. And someone said he didn't have a heart, really. When you don't have a heart, he didn't care whether everybody in the land ate. He didn't care. He didn't care. So when you are not a good leader, you're running downstairs, what's there for lunch? Grab the whole pizza. I don't care what the other class members eat. I got the whole pizza. When you're not a good leader, you're not really paying attention to those around you and their needs. You're only thinking about who? Yourself. And I think Stacy used that word, selfishness. So we need to guard against that. And when I say handset, this is what I mean. A good leader is always serving others. A good leader is always doing good works. A good leader is always doing. So if you are someone who is laying on the couch and you are just rolling around with the remote control, flipping through channels, okay, let me see what else is on. I'm bored. Is that leadership?
No.
Not at all. If you are someone who is, hey, all the time I have, I'm going to just use it to play. I know my parents and my family, they have a lot of work going on in the house right now, but no time to help. Is that good leadership? No. If you are the person who has the strength, the hands to do the work, and you don't get involved, then you're not becoming a good leader. So the hands have to be put to work in order to be a good leader. And then the last thing is environment. So wherever you are, if you are in a good environment, right, you're probably going to become better. Is that true?
Yes.
If you're in a bad environment, you're probably going to become worse. Is that true?
Yes.
Give me an example of good environment. Stacy. Church, home. Claire. Okay. A place, a safe environment. Valerie. Good environment could be Paul.
Like a park.
Like a park, yes, where you're doing something creative and something good, right? Those are good environments. You can be on a sports team and you're playing and you're doing good in the community. You're serving other people. Yes. School. You're going to school and you're spending time there. So if all of you quit school today and decided to just go hang out somewhere, are you going to more than likely become a good leader or a bad leader? A bad leader. Yes, Joy? Church. I think someone said that before. Yes.
I'm not talking about environment, but leadership. You have to be a leader in order to show leadership.
You have to be a leader in order to show leadership. Good leadership. Yes, Valerie. Sorry? Your backyard? Okay, yeah, that's good environment. It's good environment. Yes, Kaylin? Home. Yes, that's a good environment. So your environment matters. If you are going to hang out with people, like Scar kept going to hang out with the hyenas, and then he kept deceiving Simba to go into the hyenas' cave. And Simba found himself in trouble. And not only was he in trouble, Simba put his friend Nala in jeopardy because he invited her to come to this special place, but he didn't realize that his uncle was what? Deceiving him, right? Because his uncle wanted him to die. And if he died, then he knew he could become king, correct? So the heart has to be in the right place, because when Mufasa was in trouble and Mufasa was hanging tight and Scar was in a position to help him up, did he help him up? No. So what does that say about his heart? It's evil. It's a wicked heart. So believe me, the Lion King got it right. There are some people, even grown-ups that is, that can mislead you. And just because they're older than you, it doesn't mean that they all have wisdom to offer you. So you have to be reading the Word of God, reading good books, getting wisdom and understanding to avoid believing the wrong things. And if your belief system is off and how you think is off, you're going to find yourself in trouble. You're going to find yourself in a bad place. So here we go. The next slide. So there's Simba, there's Nala. Here's what happens pretty soon. Right now, you guys all have parents, you have guardians, grandparents, moms and dads who are helping you out, who are making sure you get ready every day. There's food on the table, you're protected, you're safe, you're not getting on the wrong websites. But pretty soon, you guys are gonna be the new leaders. Simba and Nala had to become the new leaders, and they had to take back the nation in the right direction, right? And were they successful? They were very successful because they were thinking differently. So we are obligated as your leaders, as your friends, as your mentors, to put in the right information before you, to help you with your belief system, to help you believe well about God and who you are, so that you can be like David. So the last slide I'm looking at, it talks about qualities of a good leader. Do you guys see any qualities in there that you can say, hey, I know I have that one? Anybody see anything that they can say, I have that one? Yes, Joy? Loving. Just name one. Yes, Stacy? Kind. I like that. Donovan? You're honest. I like that. Josiah? Effort? Yes. Paul?
I was going to say a purpose.
You have a purpose. I like that. Do you want to share what that purpose is?
To help other people
Wow.
around the world.
I love that. To help other people around the world. Yes, Tim?
Respect.
Respect. You're respectful. I like that. Eli? Do you see any that you can say, I know I have that one?
Well, he said without
It's okay. You can still say it. Respect? Hard work? Yes, you're a hard worker. I like that. Do you see any? Okay. Valerie? Humble. Nice. I like humble. Yes, Johnny? Focused. Yes, focused. Help people. I like that a lot. So I highlighted one in particular that I know is important, and that is the quality of courage. If you're going to be a good leader, you're going to need courage. When Goliath came against David, what did David do? Did David run from Goliath, or did David run to Goliath? He ran to him. He had 5 rocks, and he shot one and did what?
And then took down one of the giants.
Took down the giant, right? So a leader has to have courage, because everything you do every day requires courage, okay? When you make a good decision, sometimes it might mean that not everybody may agree with the decision you're making. So are you going to have the courage to make the decision anyway, even if other people think, hey, I don't like that. I don't like you for making that decision. Should you still make that decision? Yes, you should. So a leader has to have courage. If you don't have courage, it will be hard to get these other qualities working in your life. And the reason I love David, and he accomplished so much, and God looked at David and said, I have found a man after my own heart, because that day, David went from being just a shepherd boy to being the king of Israel, because David had courage. So there are qualities that we're looking to get rid of in order to keep this spirit of leadership going in us, you guys. I want to just ask you guys, when you walk through these doors today, you came in here to JosiahKids. Hopefully you came in wanting to learn something, right? What qualities would you say you would want to get rid of in order to become a good leader? Claire? Jealousy. We got to get rid of jealousy. I like that. Journey? That's okay. Yes, Timothy.
Get rid of our evil.
Our evils? Yes, that is true. We need to get rid of the evil heart. Yes, Justin. Get rid of doubt. I love that, because then you have belief and faith. Yes, Paul.
Stop being scared, because sometimes we do get scared.
I really love that you said that, because we are always so afraid, and God always comes through in the Bible and says, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Be strong. Be courageous. Yes.
I was also going to say, sometimes I'm scared in the dark because you don't know what's out there.
Yes, that is true. That's so very true. So sometimes we're scared because we don't know what's going on. Javon? Distractions. That's so good. I like that. Distractions. Because sometimes you're in a classroom, you're listening to someone teaching, but you're missing everything because you're distracted. So you walk out of here the same way you walked in. Yes. Sin. We need to get rid of sin. Yes.
Some of our emotions.
Some of our emotions, like anger. I love that. So that is so true. Now, when you guys leave here today, we are going to give you some affirmations that you can hang up in your bathroom or in your bedroom. Things that you need to declare about yourself, because your belief system is going to determine what kind of leader you're going to become. If you know for a fact that I am kind, I am a very kind person, I am loving, I am honest, I am a leader. When you know who you are, it doesn't matter what anyone else says about you, right? But if it's something they're telling you that you need to correct, then for sure you need to listen to that and correct it. But if it's something they're saying to you that's mean, they're being a bully, and they start calling you names, then you can remember that, no, God says I'm a leader. God said, I'm kind, I know I'm generous, I know I am good, I know I am, all the things that you are, you need to know who you are, because your thoughts, how you think, will determine what kind of leader you become, okay?